It's like I can't walk on the ceiling. Oh yeah, got me dreaming, dreaming in colors I never dreamed. Oh yeah, I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Fell in love with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, magic. No, I'm never letting go. Now that I have it with you. When you kiss me, it's like the stars fall out the sky onto my heart to cover up what I don't wanna show. I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Fell in love with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, yeah, you take me higher, baby.
Welcome to Radical Truth to Power, the progressive news show with Les BS. I am your host, Marlon Clyburn, along with Tracy Carson of Tracy Media and Theus Robinson, Complex Mind, Simple Man.
Hey, y'all.
Did I get it right?
Yeah. This time I'm not simple-minded.
Complex Mind, Simple Man. There we go. If you are new to the show, please do not forget to hit that subscribe button. I would truly appreciate it. If you are back, please do not forget to hit that like button. That would truly help the station out. We are going to continue on with our series of the Laws of Jante. We did five yesterday, and so far we are 0-5. The rules were: is it adaptable in the United States? And if so, should we? Yeah, we're batting 0-5. It ain't looking good. Now, I do have one itty-bitty surprise, tiny one. And that is I read the final 5 of them. And 2 of them kind of got me on the fence. So we're going to get to it. Tracy, how's everything going?
Oh, it's going great now that I'm here.
Theus,
I'm tired.
you look it.
I'm like, go to sleep.
This daytime, whatever.
Daylight savings time,
Yeah.
messing everybody up.
And I just had to drive in Atlanta traffic, so
Oh,
that
wait a
was
minute. It's
3 hours.
forward. I lost an hour of sleep.
Yeah.
Yep, you lost it.
All
Welcome
right.
to spring.
See who's all in here. Hello, Mickey.
Hi, Mickey. Hey,
Anna's
Anna.
in the house.
Hey, Anna.
Mickey is saying hello, Mickey, Tracy, and Theus. And so is Anna. And Anna is saying, I'm tired too. Anna,
I'm
you
telling
have a
you.
reason for it.
And my contacts is, oof. We gonna make it.
So again, if you are new to the show, please do not forget to hit that like button. As a matter of fact, go ahead and hit that like button right now. And most important news of them all, 2 more weeks, everybody. 2 more weeks until my birthday bash show. More information will be coming out about that. Also, if you are not a Patreon subscriber, you missed a doozy of a post today that is only for Patreon subscribers. And trust me when I tell you, you're going to really enjoy it. But if you don't want to join mine, please join Tracy or please join Thea's, whose money is going towards a great cause. So one of us. Now, obviously, I'm selfish. I would like for you to do all 3 of us, but you pick and choose. I did. I was the first. Like, yeah, it took me a while to find the video, but once I found it, and I didn't even know. And this is how bad it is. I'm not even going to tell. I'm not even going to hint to what it is. You want to know? You're going to have to go to Patreon, or you're going to have to be a Patreon subscriber. I did not know it was that long. I really did not know. I thought it was like a good 5-10 minutes of it. Nah, it went on and on and on and on and on. But it was good though. Yay, birthday coming. Thank you, Anna. I appreciate that.
I'm still here.
We can still
Where
hear
did
him,
Theus
right?
go? I'm like, I hear his voice, but I don't see
I
his face.
can still hear him though.
I'm still here. I had to get up to go get my contact solution.
We're professionals.
What happened?
Keep that in mind.
You drop out like 5 times every episode.
You do. Frigid temperatures, almost 2-inch snow since Wednesday. I spent the last 2 days cooking and freezing TV dinners. Love doing that when it's so cold and miserable.
You wanted me to keep the camera on.
I don't anymore. Go ahead and do what you got to do, please, and get it over with. What's up, D? What's going on,
Hey,
man?
D.
No time, no see. Yep, birthday 2 weeks away. I'll be out of jail and back in by
Yep.
Yeah. Yes, you will. He was being polite by dropping out. I get it.
They don't like good manners, Anna. They don't like them.
Who's they?
LOL Marlon need 2 inches.
2 feet.
It's 2 feet.
Oh, no. Yesterday was winter and today is spring for us.
No, it was winter, 32 degrees, and that was because of the wind. It was actually so cold. The wind was blowing so hard that it froze water on top of my garbage can. It's a little warmer now. See, here's the funny thing about Charlotte weather. You can have Monday high 67, Tuesday high 68, Wednesday high 70, Thursday high 72, Friday high 64, Saturday high 51, Sunday high 40. Thank you for the week of good temperature, because we like stick to that all the way through.
It's called global warming.
Not only that, but March is always just weird in the South.
Yeah, I'm like, you better get used to that. That's what the weather's gonna be.
Because like I remember when we got married, the week before our anniversary, which would have been this week, it was like crazy cold, and then the week of our wedding, it was beautiful. So, welcome to March. Thank you, Anna.
I remember that one time it was 80-something degrees on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and that wouldn't have bothered me.
It wouldn't. I would sold my body for a 50-degree day.
If I'm gonna do that, it's got to be way better than 50.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
I need more than
Yeah,
50.
no, I love this weather, so I'm not complaining.
It ain't gonna be 50. No. Let's get this party started. So we're going to continue with our series on the laws of Jante, which is a philosophy of life in Sweden, the Netherlands, Denmark, that area right there. So I know that we got some people on tonight that we didn't have on last night. So here's a recap and a background on the laws of Jante.
Well, Law of Jante. Law of Jante? What was Jante? She took me aside to explain and lay out the cultural construct that colored how many Norwegians, and more broadly Scandinavians, operate, both in business and in life. The Law of Jante is a social concept created by Danish/Norwegian author Axel Sandemos. Here's the handsome devil right here. In his 1933 book, A Fugitive Crosses His Tracks, he first introduced it to the world, or at least at first into Scandinavia. You may be familiar with a similar concept used in other parts of the world called tall poppy syndrome. In Japan, they also say, the nail that sticks out gets hammered. In the Law of Jante, individual success is discouraged and in many cases considered inappropriate. Instead, society encourages the good of the collective over any one individual. This has shaped Scandinavian culture over many years, and it's helped to create the peaceful, modest, and homogeneous society of today. The Law of Jante has 10 social rules, or laws. Let's take a quick look at them now. Number 1. You're not to think you are anything special. Number 2. You're not to think you are as good as we are. Number 3. You're not to think you are smarter than we are. Number 4. You're not to imagine yourself better than we are. Number 5. You're not to think you know more than we do. Number 6. You are not to think you are more important than we are. Number 7. You're not to think you are good at anything. Number 8. You are not to laugh at us. Number 9. You're not to think anyone cares about you. And number 10, the final law, you're not to think you can teach us anything.
So those are the 10 ones. Yesterday, we went to the top 5. You're not to think you are anything special. That got shut down real quick. You're not to think that you are as good as we are. Shut down even faster. You're not to think that you are smarter than we are. Didn't make sense. That was shut down. You're not to imagine yourself better than we are. That was a little bit more in depth with that one. But again, that got shut down too. And the last one from yesterday, you're not to think you know more than we do. Again, that didn't make any sense. So that was shut down. So we're going to move on. I'm sorry, 5. You're not to think you know more than we do. So number 6 is you're not to think you are more important than we are. That's the first of the two that kind of put me on the fence. Only reason being in the United States is people make themselves feel more important than what they really are. When we've really had a big issue with that. So would I say could be adapted in the United States? Absolutely not. I would put on the table of adapting a version of that in the United States. We have way too many people with way too many big heads who really feel like the sun don't rise until they wake up in the morning and don't set until they fall asleep. And it's causing just way too much chaos and egos and everything else. So, Tracy,
0 for 6 because I'm like, what are. I get it in a sense that you're saying, you got some people that think that they are more important than the group. Here is my question about that. What is the group determining what the standards are? I mean, who among this group, who is this group? I mean, um, I'm just like, no. So it's gonna be a big old 0 for 6 for me so far.
okay, this.
I don't know. I guess I'm looking at it a little bit different. So I don't think you can look at any one of them and like really speak to them because they all work together. So then it's more of, for me, do you agree with what they're trying to, in theory, accomplish? And then what's the flaws with it versus each individual thing? You know what I mean? Because like a lot of them kind of overlap. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but then also, like I said yesterday, there's a different view where it's almost like a manual for how you can suppress someone. So depending upon how it's used, it can be used to create an oppressive, suppressive situation, but it could also be used as a cohesive, uh, galvanizing structure. So as
So
with all things in life, it's
let's
all
look
about
at
how
it
you
as
use
the
it.
galvanizing structure.
Yeah, so
Should
as a
that be something
galvanizing
that can be
structure,
adapted?
I don't think it could work in America because America is too busy trying to decide who gets to be an American. So it would never work here, ever, never, ever, ever, because we haven't decided who's considered a full citizen. But if you're looking at a nation that is like almost completely homogenous and family roots go back generations, you can kind of layer something like this in there because it can become part of a national identity, which is what it kind of has done. And now it's not necessarily corrosive. It's just odious to us because it's not our life.
So now the last question is: should it be adapted in the United States?
No.
On the positive side,
And what capacity? What scope?
um,
And what I mean by that, are we talking about nationally? Is this something that we could benefit from? Or are we talking in subgroups? Is this something we
well,
could
no,
benefit
nationally, then no.
Oh, nationally, my answer would be no, because
Okay.
we don't like each other. So it would only be used to create a new apartheid system.
All right, that was quick. Moving
No,
on
that
to
was just me. I'm sorry.
no. You have every right to think what you think. We're moving on to number 7, which is you're not to think you are as good. You not to think you are good at anything. Yeah, I'm gonna say no to that. That's about as quick as I can say. Cause one is not entirely true. Um, and I think we hit on that yesterday with you're not to think you are
The you know more part.
or did we use or you're not think you're anything special
Special,
or
yeah.
you're not to imagine yourself better than we are, or it could actually be the same thing.
Hey, put that up real quick.
Okay.
All right. So number 7, you're not to think you are good at anything.
If anything.
So once again, it's about the perspective you're coming at it from me. If you're looking at it for what their intention is, it's basically to me saying, don't think that you are uniquely gifted in what it is that you do, because what you do is a learned behavior. So the only reason you may be better at it than the guy next to you is because he or she has not had the training and opportunity that you have. So humble yourself and be a teacher as opposed to being someone who feels that you're exalted. If you're giving it the most generous interpretation, which is what I think they're after there. That makes sense?
Perfect sense. I'm too American to see it that way. Yours make perfect sense. Don't get me wrong, it does. I just been in this country too long that all I see is no matter what skill you is, just make sure you ain't better than the person who don't have that skill. So in other
Well,
words, it just comes off as I need a mechanic because I'm not good at being a mechanic. I'm going to go to a mechanic. I'm going to listen to that mechanic, and that mechanic is a better mechanic than I am because I not only am I not good at automobile work, I don't want to learn how to do it. I got other things that I would like to do with whatever skill that I have. That's why I would like to go, but just like there's people who go and pay for people to do their lawn. Can they do it and can they learn it? Sure. Do they want to do it? No. They rather give it to professionals who know how to do it and pay them for their skill.
and if it stopped there, then because I'm an American because it's where I was born, but I'm disgusted by how we do our capitalist system. Um, there's not just one way to be capitalistic, and the way that America has chosen to be, I don't like. So if it stopped where you said, which is I have a certain set of skill sets. Like let's say I'm a doctor, I'm a brain surgeon.
Mhm.
I have a certain set of skills. So I know what I know in this realm, but I don't know how to be a dentist. So I go to Marlon, who is the dentist, to do that type of work. And we respect each other for our given fields and what we do and don't know. That would be nice, but that only exists on paper. Because in the American system, I come to you as a dentist, but I look down on you because you're a dentist and I'm a brain surgeon. And because I have a certain level of education, I also question what you're doing, even though I have no basis for what you're doing. But society says I'm more important than you. So my opinion matters. And then that spills out into the social dynamic where white women, who's who we see mostly on display, are showing out against service staff because in their view, I'm in a more privileged and perfect position. So I can impose my will upon you because society says I'm worth more. And then there's, yeah.
And you also have a certain person who's only an eye doctor who all of a sudden has the ability to explain to you about
Virology. Yeah.
viruses in the
Mhm.
United States. And yeah, I get exactly what you're saying. No names will be used because I just don't even want to say his name on this
Yeah.
show.
Don't go saying Rand Paul's name like that. That'd be
I'm not
uncomfortable.
gonna say Rand Paul. No, no.
Mm-mm.
What's the point?
I wish his neighbor would beat him up again, but that's hypothetical.
I wish that was what it was saying.
Oh, what I
It
just said
probably
wasn't that.
is, and it probably is. It probably, and the funny thing about it is, I think me and Thias is saying it that way. It probably is saying you have a certain skill. Use that skill to help people, not use that skill to kick down
Yeah,
because
don't
you have
exalt
that certain
yourself.
skill.
That's what I'm saying. Like everything I just said, I was speaking off of what Marlon said. But as far as that list of things, it's all about how the power dynamic chooses to use it.
Exactly.
Because if the power dynamic is truly for and about the people, then I have almost no issue with that system because it's showing everybody humble yourselves, don't value you above your brother, and your brother is not valued above you. We're all working to the good of this collective, right? So, in theory, that would work. But we're Americans, so we look at it and we're like, well, what about the individual aspect? That's a cultural rift that we can't really bridge. So I'm good with it there, but that's not how humans will use it, because inevitably power corrupts, and you will find people who will now use that list to make you their servant and blackmail you or browbeat you into feeling bad for calling out when you're being abused.
This rule would work if we lived in a society who was just so used to kicking down.
I'm sorry?
Okay, what I'm saying is we still live in a society where we have people who the only way they feel better about themselves is to make somebody else feel worse about themselves.
Which is the capitalist system that we live in.
That's why we have trolls. That's what trolls are. They go on people's websites and they spew a lot of crap, knowing they're never going to go on. You're never going to see their face. It honestly makes them feel better. It makes them feel superior. They don't have know why the hell what the hell they're talking about. But we already discussed that yesterday. You don't have to know what you're talking about. You just have to say it.
I think this would work in a communal system.
A lot of these rules will work in a communal
It would
system.
have to be in a communal system. So, like the Amish people, they could do a version of this. The Norwegian, Scandinavian, Dutch colony places out there that this is big in, they can do that because of how close knit the ties are and how everybody's literally the same, right? So you can kind of do this. Jehovah's Witnesses, they have a version of this. Some of the other sects of different faiths, they have versions of this. And if everybody's on one accord, this could work for the good of everyone, but it makes everyone blend in. So you're not someone. And that's where I think most of us have an issue, because that's not how we were taught.
Yeah. Agreed. Next, you're not to laugh at us.
I'm sorry if you fall down
Yeah,
because you did something
broke
stupid
that
and we're
one.
laughing.
That was my second on the fence thing.
Yeah, I see why you lean in. Because I kind of get it. But then there's some stuff that's just funny. I'm like,
Okay, let me go ahead and put the worst part out. Because, Tracy, I know what you're saying. Who said that? Dude, come on.
yeah, that's hilarious.
You deserve to be laughed at. And those people who are over the top, outrageous, don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about, even though they do know the answer. They know correctly. But they rather skew it because they're trying to go after a certain base. They say some of the dumbest things they could possibly say off the top of their head because they just feel like that's what their base is going to believe. They're not going to believe the truth. As ironic as that is, they'll believe any. Yeah, I'm going to laugh at you. And I said that at the beginning of the year. I'm not going to get mad at those people anymore. I'm going to laugh at your entertainment. You want to be entertaining? I'm going to laugh at your entertainment because that's what you want. On the other scope of that, I get so many emails, I get so many messages, and they break my heart because one of them kept saying, I did not want to ask you a question because I thought it was dumb. And that just hurts me because I see somebody that's trying to learn and don't know how to get the right answer. You okay? Okay. That we still have that stigma, and that stigma comes from because they don't know the right answers. They don't want to talk, and because they don't want to talk, they don't know where to go, and they wind up going to the wrong people for the wrong answers.
Well, I love that you brought that up, and I think a lot of that comes into the importance of creating a safe space.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, because of the way I speak, I've been told that sometimes people feel like they can't ask me a question because they feel like I'm either going to talk over their head or they're afraid of not having the right words. And I try to convey, I don't care if you have the right words. I'm just trying to figure out if I understand what you're saying. And if I don't understand what you're saying, I might ask you for clarification. But I like questions. I think asking questions is a sign of intelligence. Um, the problem that a lot of people have, though, is that fear of being judged for not having the right magical combination
That's the
of
word choice.
words, you
Yeah.
know? So yeah, but I think with this one, you cannot laugh at us or whatever the exact wording was. I think it got lost in translation somehow. I wonder how the actual translation would be for them because I suspect that's more along the lines of you cannot criticize us. That's what I think because you can't laugh at us seems kind of I don't know. It's
Well,
kind of
that's
vague.
not any better.
Childish.
No, it's not better because that you can't criticize us makes me think of totalitarian states like North Korea, right? Where if you launch any level of criticism, you will disappear. But you can't laugh at us. Similar, but it makes me think of America, Jim Crow, because there was an extended period of time during Jim Crow that they used to have, and this is not conjecture, this is you can look it up. They had what's called laughing barrels. So if black people were out in public and they felt that they were going to laugh and a white person was approaching or nearby, they were instructed to laugh in the barrel so that they didn't inadvertently offend the white person in the area. So there is a connotation to this to where no, literally, you can't laugh at us. Even if I think you laughing at me, I'm gonna say that off with his head. You know,
Yeah.
a la Emmett Till. I thought you were whistling at me. That's enough for a posse to come and take you and kill you. So it's the negative side screams at me with this list.
This
You
list
know?
is 0 for 8 for me so far. I'm like, nope.
In a long thread about trans hater, a woman in her 60s politely asked what it really means. I responded by thanking her for asking a honest question, then went on to tell her about the science. Two trolls attacked her in the most nasty way. She then thanked me for my response. I started crying because a polite question received a polite answer, and she was grateful. How sad. Yeah,
I agree. And then think about just yesterday, we were talking about the Ryan Coogler situation and how everyone has viciously attacked the teller. Don't know the teller, never met the teller, don't know nothing about her backstory, don't know none, don't care. She's viciously raked through the coals in social media. However, you fall out on the issue itself. Um, so it's like it's dangerous to speak sometimes. Especially if you're a fragile person. Let's say you don't have the highest of self confidence or something like that. And you're just literally, this is my opportunity to ask. I've never been around a black woman. Hey, what is it like being a black woman? Never been around a Filipino man. Hey, what is it to be a Filipino man? You know, people are scared to ask that question because just asking the question might get you dogged out.
that is the height. And I'm on the fence about this too, and I'll work on myself. But that's the height of feeling racism because we have had so many people who say, I don't know how it feels, and sometimes it's hard to know if they're genuinely asking the question
Right.
or it's a got you. And we
Oh
have
yeah.
so many got you questions about, well, what do you mean it's hard being a single black father raising your daughter? And you could give them an answer. Yeah, well, but statistics say that that most, and it's like, what the
But
hell,
see,
dude?
everything I feel you because I'm one of the first ones to tell you I don't have a lot of patience for educating white people about black experiences. I don't have a lot of time, a lot of patience for that. But there's a way to address that, right? I can be nasty about it and try to be like, well, you know what? You ought to know by now. You over 30 years old, pick up a book, blah, 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 blah. No, no, no. Another way you can say that is I'm not really the one who's equipped to do that for you. There are other people who will. I suggest you reach out to a friend or someone else like that. I'm just not the one, right? That's a lot less aggressive than the first one, because you're right. People will just try to set you up so they can get into a fight with you
But Theas, you
or
are
prove to you
educated
that you
like
don't
you
know
on
your own
these
life.
shows.
If I am, that's cool, but I'm not doing it for that purpose, right? If you notice, when I'm speaking the same. I speak the same way, no matter who's in front of me. I talk to black folk, white folk, Asian folk, Latino folk. However you come to me, I'm talking to you the same way. I ain't code switching for you. None of that. And if a person is able to pick up something from what I'm saying, it wasn't because I was trying to teach anyone anything. I'm speaking my truth and my perspective, right? And I feel, or at least I'm trying to promote a way where even though I'm not talking to you, I'm not talking past you either. So if you have a question, you can certainly ask me and I'll tell you whether or not I'll answer it. But then there's other people who are not going to walk like me, who are going to be much more aggressive because they're sick of it and they have a whole different mentality or their focus is different. And then you got Tracy, who's more to the other side of me, who is much more patient. And she is willing to engage with you. Not you specifically, sister, but I'm saying, but she is willing to engage and be more patient in bringing someone through. You know what I'm saying? So everybody ain't for everything. And you just get what you can from where it's best to get fed.
Yeah.
And I love all y'all. Y'all mad cool. So, I like it.
I'm in the booty, solid red. The number of people here who have never interacted with a black person, Latino person, a LGBT plus, etc., is astonishing.
And you know what's really wild about that? That is 100% true by the numbers. Like they say something like 60% of white people in America don't know a black person. Okay. And mathematically, it makes sense. We're only like 15% of the total population, and we live clustered together, and we feel threatened in certain communities, so we don't go there. But guarantee you, those people who will give you that list, they definitely know an LGBTQ person. They definitely know one. It's just that person is not safe or feels safe to let you know
Yep.
that's their life because it's dangerous. I'm in danger because of my pigment, but they're in danger because they look like everyone else. But if they say the wrong thing,
they're the ones who would rather drive an hour and a half to another town that doesn't know them so they can be who they are.
yeah, I was listening to. I'm a nerd, so I like public radio, and every once in a while they'll do like a story that's going into the national record. I forgot what they call it, Library of Congress, I think is what they call it. And there was one just the other day where person was speaking, and they were like, as a child, I always felt that I was a girl, but I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know how to process that. So I kept that to myself. But I had an aunt who asked for me to be able to stay with her for a week. And I'm paraphrasing, I'm probably getting a bit of it wrong. But the person was like, when I went to stay with my aunt and they dropped me off, one of the first things she said when she closed the door, how about we let you get into something more comfortable? And I was able to wear a dress and do my nails and be the little girl that I always knew I was when I'm with her. And it was powerful to me because this was a story from like the 1950s. So that's why I mean, like, we all know somebody. Whether or not it's safe for them to let you know that's the case is different.
Yeah. Let's move it on to number 9. You're not to think anyone cares about you. I ain't finna comment on that at all. Just not.
Ew.
Oh for 9.
Abusive ass relationship type
Ew.
statement was that?
I don't have a way to spin that one.
I
Nope.
I know. I have no idea what that was supposed to. Tracy, go ahead. I ain't got nothing for that one, buddy.
What you expect me to have? I'm like, what? Is this person who wrote this list out of a I don't cuss. I gotta find a substitute. But are they serious? Are they serious?
Okay,
Two
hold
answers
on.
to that. First
I'm
answer is,
gonna give it a shot.
oh, go ahead, Mom.
You're not to think anyone cares about you. No, I got nothing.
I mean, I can spin it, but it don't make sense. The spin to it is you are merely a part of the collective. Nothing is about you. Don't take it personal. Don't make yourself the center of attention. You are no better, no worse. You're nothing but a part of the whole. That's the way I'm thinking it was spent. But Tracy, to ask your question, to answer part of your question, originally, no, they weren't serious. It was a satirical interpretation to point at how ridiculous this stuff is. But apparently somebody missed the joke.
Yeah, I must
And
be
it
one of the
became-
ones. I'm like, are you
Mr.
thinking?
Joe did.
And it became a cultural norm.
Nobody cares about me.
A little over a year ago, I was in a dangerous situation. No heat, no lights, no phone, etc. A Facebook friend from another state called the troopers who did a welfare check. I'm glad she cared about me.
Yep, and I think I remember that.
Yeah, I got nothing. I'm moving on. I good try, Theas. I
Yeah,
appreciate
you tried it.
it. But no,
Told you it wasn't any good, but I'm just saying that's
no,
that's where they
wasn't.
think they're trying to
It
go.
wasn't. It really wasn't.
It's the whole list is very cultish.
I even try to push it as don't always think somebody is gonna come to your rescue. I can't even twist it in words that make it fit that.
Yeah, I'm looking at it and I'm like, the entire thing is either one, the manifesto on how to abuse someone, two, the manifesto on how to run a cult, or three, only hypothetically good for a make-believe communal setting on paper.
And some type of fictional movie, and you're like, oh, this was an interesting movie.
Right, but this is like Get Out again,
which I've never seen, but
Get Out twice.
Yeah, I've never seen the movie either. The premise just wasn't.
Number 10. You're not to think you can teach us anything.
What?
That falls into the category of that doesn't make sense.
That don't.
It is always going to be what? Okay. No, I don't even want to look at
who is us.
Susan, this is your favor that we went through this, and I understand that the society that you're living in some way, shape, or form is living by these rules. Some of these rules don't make any sense. It just really don't make any sense
from our cultural lens.
It should make any sense from anybody's culture.
It should make any sense from anybody.
So nobody goes to school. Who is the teacher? The teacher.
You can't teach us anything. Well, how the heck are you going to learn anything if nobody can teach you anything?
I think you guys are thinking you're taking it a different way. It's not that you can't be educated. It's just that let's say Marlon, you're the teacher.
Yeah.
Okay, and me and Tracy are students.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, you can educate us, right? But it's not you educating us. You're a representative of the collective imparting the knowledge back to us. And you as the teacher need to remember that you're no better than the two of us that you're giving information to. You're just like us. You ain't no better just because you get to read from the book. And then on our side, you're still gathering information. So don't ever think that you're so big that you can tell the rest of us how we're doing something wrong.
But who decides who can teach you anything? Do they
That's
have to
the
take a test?
problem with this
Yeah,
whole
I'm
thing.
like, nope.
The
I-
whole
I-
thing is the collective is who the us is. There's no individual named, none of that. The you is you as a part of the collective. The problem is human nature, because human nature will guarantee you that someone or collection of someone's will come together to make the collective serve them. It's
I
guaranteed.
get what you're saying, Theus, but here is the issue with what you're saying if that is the case.
Mm.
Because not you, I'm going by what you're saying. So when I use you, I'm not saying
Yeah,
you,
I'm good, bro.
Theus.
Go ahead.
You're saying, though, for some reason, you feel like if I could teach you something, that means I feel like I'm better than you.
No, that's not what I said. I'm saying you, because you're teaching me something, should not think you're better than me.
And that's what I'm saying. Why would you think that I would be thinking that?
It's
When I
not
can literally just be saying, I'm teaching you because I'm a teacher and that is my job to do.
exactly. And if that is true, then this rule doesn't splash back on you. One of the other ridiculous rules splash back on you. This is only so that you don't start thinking that you are the keeper of the knowledge, the keeper of the secret, so that we need you to educate us. When we don't need you to educate us, we can go get someone else in the collective to do the same thing that you're doing, and then you can go do something else for the good of the collective. It's
Who
like it's all
decides?
meant to keep it flat.
So
No, this list is 0 for
they don't
10 for
have
me.
deans.
This is a 0 for 10 for
And
me.
I'm just using facetious. I know you may
No,
not
you're not
know.
supposed to have opinions. That's just it.
You're not supposed to have deans in colleges over
No.
the professors.
Nope. Everything would probably be run by a family council.
Oh,
Wow. Jeez Louise.
You got, I mean, I'm saying the culture that we're in, one, I really hope everyone is at a place where they deconstruct the culture that we're in anyway. Especially us as Black people who were forced into this system and then raised up in it. So we're basically the captives who have taken on the captors' system of government, system of religion, system of cultural norms. So if you deconstruct that, then it may help when you're challenging other constructs. So when I'm looking at this, and I'm not saying I have it right, but what I'm saying is I'm looking at it and I'm saying, well, what's the intention of that culture? That culture, as best I can glean it, is we're all the same. And in the spirit of sameness, let us not exalt one another.
I gotta step away for 1 second. Keep going.
Yeah, you could. But that's what that's like, I'm thinking of this literally. I'm looking at this like I look at most things. It's like a game to me. Because I'm always trying to figure out how do I identify an adversary, an opponent, a friend, an ally? What does that look like? How do they think? How do they function? What would be their response to this particular event or that particular event? Instead of how do I do it? Because if I'm only looking at the problem the way I look at it, I'll always miss the clues. You know what I'm saying? Because your enemy is going to function the way it's going to function. And you have to look at it, how do they look at it, not how you look at it. I don't know. It's not a healthy
completely
thing.
disagree. This list is like, I know who wrote it. No, 0 for 10. Just 0 for 10. None of this would work in the United States.
Agreed.
It would work, like you said, it would work in a very small sister wives kind of community.
Agreed.
Like something so small that somebody from the outside could be like, no, it doesn't have to be that way.
No, I agree. But here's the thing, though. It would work, but how well? Like, to me, every system is broken. All of them. So it's one broken system looking at another broken system, talking about how broken that system is, right? Because like a sister wives concept, like people think like how oppressive it is when you have experienced freedoms, but within it, is it serving their needs? Is it serving their structure? Yes, but what kind of quality of life are the individuals having? Well, that's not a problem because we're not thinking about them, right? That's what this does in that construct with me, right? Kind of like I had a interaction with some brothers from Africa some years back. Can't remember what countries they were from, but they were one was from Congo and another was from another one. But they were talking about what's wrong with American women. And they were talking about it like American women don't know how to, honor their man. They don't know how to stay in their place. They don't know how to hold their tongue when it's necessary.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking about having multiple wives. So long as you can financially provide for them and protect them, then that's a sign of your whatever. And like I was telling them, I said, that may work where you're from. Because see, where you're from, your culture has already established a byline where the women have certain expectations and the men have certain expectations. So no one may, for very few people, are feeling oppressed or controlled. Because that's your culture.
Yeah, that's their culture.
You bring it over here, you can't transfer that here. No more than we can transfer ours the other way. Because here, everything you just said to me, I have 3 daughters. And I'm listening to you like, ain't no way I'd let them marry somebody like you. Because everything you just said would deny my daughter the right to self-actualization. But in other cultures, self-actualization is not a thing. You know, it's how are you keeping the family going? And while we look at it and say the woman is being oppressed based on our standards, on their standards, that woman may not feel oppressed at all.
Yeah, she's
because
like,
she
this
realizes,
is the wife.
well, not just that, she realizes the power that she does have. She is literally raising, grooming, and preparing the next generation. That's an incredibly powerful position to have. Just because you don't have all of the whatever we do here, you still have respect. There's a hierarchy among wives. There's a hierarchy among families. All these things exist. So it's just different. But I don't know. Americans think we do everything the right way. So whatever.
No,
Meanwhile,
we've
got
never
homeless
been
people
wrong
under the
about
bridge.
anything. Nope.
Nope. We got it all.
Not at all. And we got the history to show for. Oops.
Yeah.
No, we
But
got
you
to
know what?
change.
I can fix that. We'll just don't teach the history.
No, we only teach the good parts. To teach that we'll just scrub out the stuff we don't like.
Well, I agree, Mickey, and disagree. So you could take that same statement and then apply it our way. The sad thing about our oppressive and repressive culture is we'll never know how many surgeons, rocket scientists, and teachers are living in poverty and neglect. See, we have a lot of genius who never gets the opportunity because our system does not believe that opportunity should be given, it must be earned. So like it's to me anyway, it's all messed up.
And you could take it one step further and go, how many of those same people are in the ground right now for no apparent reason whatsoever other than the color of their skin?
Or where they were born. Like it's like the whole citizenship thing just gets on one of my last nerves. So wait a minute. A person who is from, I'm just going to pick a country, from El Salvador, has studied the American way of life from the time they were 5 years old. They've looked up to America and had dreams of being able to have the freedoms and all these things that America has. They know how our government works. They know how everything works. They love, love, love America. But you're saying they're not worthy to be here because they didn't fall out the right woman's private area. You can't pass NAN test If somebody handed us the citizenship test right now, most of us would fail. But that kid in El Salvador, English is their second language, would pass it.
Well, I really would like to say that this is the last depressing part of the show.
Was that depressing?
It really was. I was like, whoa.
Oh,
I know, I know it's life. We don't pull any punches on this show because it is what it is. But let's not pretend it ain't depressing because a lot of the stuff is depressing.
My favorite color is blue.
Really, mine is too.
Yeah. Second favorite is black.
Oh man, that is messed up.
I'm
I
a
think
pink
so is
purple.
mine.
maybe silver would be third if I had to pick
I'm
one.
through out the blue and black.
Yeah, if I had to pick one.
I think red may be next, but only in certain areas. By the way, that's a hint for the show, the Saturday Night Bash show.
What was the hint? I'm sorry, I got
Yeah,
coffee.
I missed
That, that ain't my fault that you weren't paying attention.
All I got
I'm
was
just
blue,
kidding,
black,
Trey.
and red.
I can't say it again because I want people to watch the show again. I gave you a hint. And no, the suit is not red. That not.
Oh, don't do that male chorus type of stuff. Don't do
world, I'm
that.
wearing a red suit.
Because we'll break rule number, what was that, 8? We can't laugh at you? Yeah, we will laugh at you.
Yes, sounds much. Yeah, I kind of had that feeling that those things that we saw on TVs and movies and everything, where they plop a book down on the table and go, "Okay, let's go through all that."
It depends on where you're from, brother.
Yeah, it depends on where you're from.
Oh, purple is dope. Yeah,
and purple.
Yeah.
Every time I think purple, I think royalty.
But I can't, because it's the color of royalty, right?
Yeah.
At least that's what we were taught in church. But I can't imagine where I would wear purple.
Church. You just said it. That's pretty much the only place I know.
Well, I don't tend to go there. But even if you wore it at church, it would be like the what's the word, like a wrap or something. You know, like it's not gonna, you're not showing the school, not showing the church, I'm sorry, in a purple suit, right?
Oh no, I've seen men show up in purples. Like a woman
That's
can wear
on
a
Easter.
purple.
See, Easter is different.
No,
Easter in a black church is a hilarious experience, but very colorful, very, very colorful.
You know what?
Each in pastels.
This is gonna sound sexist, and I'll work on myself.
Women can wear purple though.
I never
Women can rock
seen
almost
a
any color.
suit on a man that made me laugh.
Say what now?
I have never seen a suit that a man wore in church that made me laugh.
Oh, child.
I have seen plenty of church hats and that Jiffy Pop popcorn dress that woman was wearing and stuff like that. Oh, but why?
Well, when you laugh at a guy's suit, it's usually
He's too loud. It's like,
the suit is like just too
like
outrageous.
stop with all that. Like you look like a dang on stop sign.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you red and yellow. Yeah.
But women can rock
Red
so
and
many
yellow.
colors.
This ain't Ronald McDonald.
God. She named that Speaker of the House and one of our senators.
Yeah, but I don't think the test is that easy for everyone. But even that, just those 3 questions, most people couldn't answer that.
We be like, who was the 8th president? Let me go
Oh,
name
no, don't
him.
even do that with me. I know.
All I know
failed
is
the president's
Washington
test.
was first, and now we got Biden.
Oh, she was saying what the question was. Yeah, one was who was the president.
And then Speaker of the House.
Duh. Speaker of the House.
And name one of your senators.
Let's be realistic. Up until recently, because it only becomes a joke and a punching bag and everything else, people now know. And one of our senators.
But Speaker of the House, everyone really should know that going back at least 20, 30 years.
We already done figured out that what you should and what you do.
It was Nancy Pelosi, and then I can't even think of
You
who
had
was before
Boehner.
Pelosi.
You had Paul.
Yeah, Rand Paul.
Not Rand Paul. Dang, you got
Yeah,
me messed up.
you
You
did
look
say
young.
that, Diaz. Yes, she's white. Yeah.
They're all white. We've never had a Speaker of the
No,
House
she's
of
talking
color.
about as far as the
No, as far as the
census.
questions.
Oh.
If it was a black or Native American
Surprisingly, all
person,
white
they would have
is
brought
one
the
of my
book out.
favorite things to do is to wear all white.
That's a church thing too,
No,
but
it's not.
it's also a classy thing. Like,
Yeah.
because right now they have the all white parties, which I don't
Yeah.
get. What? I've been to an all white party. Don't get me wrong, but I don't get the appeal to that. Give me an all black party, because I would really like to have something that doesn't show that someone bumped up against me and now I'm wearing they got their makeup or something on my clothes and it's ruined for the rest of
Yeah, I
eternity.
tend to like the brighter colors, the yellows, the pinks.
I look good in pink. It works with
I'm
my
gonna
skin
take your
tone.
word for it. That's our first hour, everybody. We're going to be rolling into the second hour with Foxy's videos of the week. And like I said, I really wish that we didn't have any depressing ones, but I guarantee you that the first two, you know what, I am going to bump it up. The first
we tried. Tracy and I, we just made it a lot more lighthearted, and then you went and brought the mood down.
Sure did.
I'm going to bring it right back down because it's just some of the first two videos and stuff that again, I know I'm a broken record, but stuff that has to be said. So we shall be back in 3 minutes. Stay tuned.
Living for weekends, wishing I could take a break from this world. Running on a hamster wheel, but searching for something I can't feel. I just wanna be a lost girl and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate above the ground and make eye contact with clouds. Now I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free, finally, I wanna be free, I wanna be free, finally, I wanna be free, finally. I always stay dreaming, never imagine I lose my spark. Living in this crazy time, putting back the pieces of my mind. I know how to run from the dark and fly. Feel my wings spread, levitate into the clouds. I'm so high above the ground. I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free, finally, I wanna be free,
are back.
Hey, so question.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking at the citizenship thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in order to sit for the citizenship test, one of the requirements you have to be at least 18 years of age, and you need to have your green card. Now, if you're under age 18, you can't get your green card unless you are an unmarried child under age 21 of a U.S. citizen. But that would make you a citizen. And so it's like this big loop de loop. So it's like we literally are saying you have to evade the law for an extended period of time as an illegal immigrant long enough to somehow establish sufficient residency to get the green card. And then from there, you can try to apply for citizenship, but you can't get the green card unless you marry a U.S. citizen. And you can't get the green card if you've committed a crime, but you are in the country illegally, but you had to be here for a period of time to even be able to try to apply.
Welcome back to Radical Truth to Power, the progressive news show with lesbians. You really want me to try to explain the United States law that's been unfair to everybody that's not a certain color?
It'd be nice.
It won't happen. It's not gonna happen. And I understand what you're saying, and it sounds just as ridiculous as how you're pronouncing it. But yeah, it probably exactly the way that is. And you know what probably the answer is? Then don't come over here illegally.
Yeah, but then there's no way to get here legally.
Then how you
unless
gonna be
you're
a
connected.
citizen?
And we're right back in the same loop. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
America, America.
God bless
Cash
us.
Okay, see,
on thee.
Land that I taught away.
y'all send me a lifeline. A lifeline.
To
As long as you remember,
shining
undocumented immigrants in this
sea.
country are Canadians who have overstayed their visa, hence all the wild roundups we've seen of them.
Yeah, most of your undocumented
All in the
immigrants,
cages and handcuffed and yeah.
We
but
built
that's
that
how.
wall.
But that's proof. I mean, not that we need it much more, but it's proof that America really isn't about illegal immigration. They don't really care about that. They're only concerned about non-white or non-favored. Because if you really wanted to rein in illegal immigration in America, a huge honeypot is you search for all expired visas. See, we know who has a visa. We know there's a list of them. And we know their last place of employment. That's how they got the visa. So if you were serious, the low-hanging fruit, you would go after the visas. And now you'd be rounding up Australians, Canadians, Europeans, people from China, people from India, right? There are whole communities of people from like India, for example, who are high income earners here in America. Green card been dead, visa been dead. You know what I'm saying? But they're here and they're able to work because they stay on the same job and they're contributing that way. What they don't want are the, as they say, unskilled. Even though you need them because guess who would be helping you with your food not rotting on the vine. But hey, you know what?
Foxy's videos of the week. You know, I done heard that song like 50,000 times and I still bop to the last like 3 seconds of it.
You like that 80s retro?
That's 80s? I don't think it's 70s.
Oh, 70s maybe?
It
Okay.
does sound like
It has an adult retro feel to it.
Well, let's get started with the first one. Like I said, the first two, and then we're going to get into some funny stuff. The first two, the first one is what happens when you turn the tables. And I'd had a discussion with Kim about this too. And I don't know if this video triggered that or not, but it makes completely utter sense of what happened when we turn your own wording against you.
For all you Republicans who are complaining about high gas prices and inflation, I just want to say one thing. Get a better paying job. If you can't afford to pay for your own bills, you obviously aren't trying hard enough to get a better paying job. And I don't see why it's the government's responsibility to decrease inflation or even give a flying fuck about the price of gas. I mean, after all, if you were actually trying and weren't trying to be a freeloader, you would have a better paying job. You need to pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Quit asking the government to help get the price of fuel down. Quit asking the government to help get the price of anything down, because you guys believe in free market 110%. So if you can't afford shit, that's just because you're fucking lazy and not trying to get a better paying job.
Yep. But it'll fall on deaf ears because the biggest beneficiary of American welfare is the white citizen. And so that's how most of you got their land. That's how you were able to operate under the umbrella that sheltered you from some of the other crap that was falling on everybody else. So, yeah, but they won't hear it because they actually, the people who feel the way he was talking to.
Hey, Susan.
Hey, Susan. They truly believe that the U.S. government is supposed to take care of its citizens. They do believe that. That's why whenever they want something, they go to the government. They'll say out their mouth, smaller government, whatever, but then they'll take over that same government to enforce their will. So they believe in it. The problem is they don't believe certain people deserve to be citizens like them.
I don't think they mind you being a citizen. They just don't want you to have the same rights.
They don't want you to be a citizen.
They
like
don't
them.
want you to be a citizen.
They don't want you. They want you to be a U.S. citizen, but second class citizen. Basically, there's a tier where this group of people, when you say American, it's a certain group of people, but everybody else, you're American, but not really.
But
us
black people do vote like Americans.
Just like them. Just like them.
Just like them. I don't know what you...
So, we're close.
Second class citizens.
That's not what he meant. Like, shit. See,
I love how that's not what they meant, people. That's not what he was saying.
Yeah, despite the words that came out of his mouth.
Because here's the funny thing about it is, they never say that's not what they meant if there was no backlash. So if there was nothing said, nobody's going to come back and go, you know what? I can see how that can be construed wrong. So let me just say, I don't think he meant it that way. No, it's a Trump thing. He throws crap against the wall. If there's no pushback on it, he doubles down on it. If there's pushback on it, he already has his base already set for. No, it was taken out of content.
He was joking. He was joking.
What about?
It's more than a Trump thing. It's a white privilege thing. Because that's the beauty of the American system. I'm going to use what D.L. Hughley said once. The black man must fly to get to where the white man walks to. So you can be decidedly average. But if you come from the right bloodline or cultural background, your average behind can make a six-figure salary.
Yep.
But to get that same salary, if you're not a white male Like so, white women they're a notch down, right? And then black men are a notch down, and black women are a notch down, right? Actually, you might flip those two now because now the black woman is a little bit higher than the black male, but we're still hustling for like bottom rungs. um, you still have to be exceptional. You look at and I have even more issues with Obama now than I ever had before because I learned some things today. But you look at how magical that Negro had to be.
Mm. There's a term in Danish, second generation immigrants. It means you was born in Denmark and are therefore a citizen, but
They do that here in America too.
Yeah.
yeah,
You're
It is
second
same.
generation Haitian. They make sure they point that out.
yeah.
Your parents
no,
were
you're
immigrants,
really
and you're the
they
child of
really just
immigrants.
make sure.
Well,
That's
some
why.
politicians were with I was a child of an immigrant. No, you're
Because
an
it's
American.
effective. Because if I could
Oh,
say
that
that
works.
I'm an immigrant, I'm now not treated like a regular black person. Malcolm X even talked on this back in the 60s. It might have been in the 50s speech, but I think it was the 60s, where he was saying if he has a Arabic sounding name, he could look just like me. You're going to treat him better than you treat me. And I'm right here from Mississippi. You see what I'm saying? So it's like,
Ain't America great?
greatest country
Well,
on
we were
earth.
singing the song, but you was saying to stop.
You told me, yeah.
Because y'all can't sing.
Well, now you're being hurtful.
I'm being
and
truthful.
that was a personal attack, and I am
Damn
offended.
what? Would you rather me lie to you? No.
I'm just saying, so you're telling me to take my talent and hide it under a bushel?
Please do.
No, not oppression. Tracy.
Yes. Have you
Bury
ever
your
heard me
talent.
sing on this show? No, because I know I can't.
But you can tell me I can't sing.
That's because I know who can and who can't.
Maybe I'm just singing in a different way.
Badly?
Well, it really don't matter because I was singing for the Lord. So
Oh, stop!
Making a joyful noise.
It was a noise. That's all I'm gonna say. It was a noise.
Sing, baby. Sing.
same baby. You let it all hang out.
That's all right now. That's all right.
Take your time.
Oh gosh.
Take your
Oh.
time.
Take your time now.
Take your time.
All right, next video. And I'm just gonna let it speak for itself.
You can't say I'm wrong because we show it over and over again. But in Alabama, if Jesus ran as a Democrat against a Republican Satan, then Jesus will be obliterated by the conservative devil. Doesn't matter which Jesus either. White, long-haired Jesus will be a hippie freeloader, and brown-skinned Jesus will be an immigrant. Were you even born here? Let me see your papers. Satan will run these outlandish, untrue attack ads, and Jesus will take the high road, and Bama will say, I'm voting for the man who says what he thinks, not the snowflake. Satan would refuse to debate, and Jesus would run a campaign on helping those less fortunate and loving your neighbor, and Bama will say he's just a socialist hell-bent on raising taxes. Bama would say, only reason people vote for that radical Jesus fella is because they want to live off the government and have the government tell them what to do. Satan just wants you to work and take care of your own and not have people tell you what to do. I'm voting for the candidate who says you should pull yourself up by the bootstraps and not be dependent and lazy. Don't tell me it wouldn't happen. Take the names Jesus and Satan out of it, and you can see that it happens every time. Hallelujah and roll tide.
Tide, baby. Roll tide.
I see no lies. None.
I ain't see none. That's why I played it. I saw no lie in that whatsoever.
True. You just want the government to take care of you. Minus the fact that they're spending the dollars that I put into the system. Oh no, let's skip over that part.
Well, once you were successfully able to moralize wealth, you now have a situation where American evangelical Christianity, so I'll narrow it more than I did yesterday, has taken on all of the things specifically spoken against by the one that they claim to follow.
Susan, you said it. I'll read it. I don't understand half of it, but I'll read it.
Because wasn't there? It's like there's a message of it's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle
A
than for a
needle
rich
than a
man
rich
to
man to
enter
enter
into
into
the
the
gates of
kingdom of
heaven.
heaven.
Right.
Yeah.
So you got that one. You have leading into that particular expression where it was saying, "Go and sell all that you have and follow me." Then there was when he came earlier, even earlier on with the disciples who were professional fishermen, and he said, "Put away your nets. I'll make you fishermen of men." So you're giving up your livelihood that you're good at, and you're gonna come follow me around, and I'm gonna talk to some folks. And then you got he takes 2 loaves of bread and a fish, or 2 fish and 1 loaf of bread. I got that twisted and backwards. I'm not sure which one, but he fed a whole lot of people with it. Well, that wouldn't be right. That's socialism or something. So that's why the American preachers can't tell me much of nothing. They just can't. I look at them like they're crazy.
You know what? I heard a comedian say something that was so true. Does that not prove that Jesus was a black man?
No.
That he was able to take two. He was able to take 2 fishes and a loaves of bread. You know, black people can divvy out some fish.
Stop it.
We
I mean, Marlon's not
Tracy, get your
all
brother.
the way
We can divvy
wrong
out-
on what he's saying.
Come
I
on,
see where he's
come on.
going.
No, poor people can divvy out some food.
And who was poor?
if he
I
was
understand what I'm
poor,
saying. I'm just saying
They was-
poverty and black are not synonymous, because you look at the Jewish community, they know how to make things stretch. You look
They
at
would
poor
hate
white
Jesus
folks,
because
they know how to
he
make
was-
stuff stretch. You look at the Latino community, they make stuff stretch. Poverty will teach you to be more generous and more
resourceful.
resourceful. Yes, that's poverty.
But I see where Marlon was going.
I think the reason why you would say Jesus was a brother is because one, the description in your own book says so. And
Yeah, I was gonna say,
second of
well,
all,
pretty much right there. But hey, I'm just here today.
you know, but you know, hey, it's possible. I mean, Jesus, let's say he was a white guy, he happened to find the only how many disciples did he have?
12. But I don't know. It was more than 12. Well, okay.
So he had 12 or 13. He found the only 12 or 13 white guys that he could find in the area, and they hung out together and made stuff happen for all the poor black and brown people in the area.
And he threw the greatest fish fry known to mankind.
Great, but if he didn't have hot sauce, then
you don't know that.
Lord, they don't deceive.
Well,
They done inched over into no.
If you got
and then let's go back further. Let's go Old Testament, like with the burning bush. Now, was Moses really talking to the burning bush, or was he burning a bush and had a good talking to?
The burning bush spoke to Moses, not the other way around.
If you've ever been high,
however,
you can think that something's talking to you.
I have a question about that, Tracy. I have a question. Just follow me. The bush.
Y'all not gonna do this to me today, and I just left the church. No, y'all not.
The bush was set on fire. We don't know what kind of bush, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Stop it, Marlon. No,
I'm asking a question. I'm just asking a question. The bush was set on fire. It was windy. The smoke from the bush hit Moses in the face. All of a sudden, he heard voices.
Oh, I see. You went somewhere much better than I thought you were going.
Yeah, because I thought, he's going to go to some real trifling, and then I'll have to really start.
Yeah, I thought you.
Y'all disgusting.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about a different
y'all
bush.
Are disgusting.
We are not disgusting.
She'll bite out the gutter.
You're one.
I apologize on behalf of both of them. That was not my intention whatsoever.
And look at the look on my face, like
whatever. Offers included Jesus' skin was darker hue and that his hair was. Yeah, we don't read that part.
Yeah, we skip over that.
Yeah.
We just start back over at Genesis.
No, we just look at Michelangelo's nephew.
His feet was as bronze as clay. We don't read that part either.
Yep, not that part either.
No. Stones talk to me.
Oh wow, y'all stop.
I mean, you can get a lot of things from nature to talk to you. You got mushrooms that'll talk to you, you know, stuff out there.
If Eve was created by Adam's rib, that means she was a clone. And that means Eve was a man.
Okay. Could we play the
And
next clip,
also,
please?
and also, even if you took it from that angle, that means they were committing incest, but that's a whole nother thing.
No, I was going to take it as that means that Adam was the first gay man.
No, because Eve was determined to be female, even though she came from his rib. So she is still female. So that doesn't make Eve a man. However, we are omitting that in the chapter that precedes Adam and Eve, that God created man and woman, and there was an entire group of them, and then Adam and Eve were second made. That's the next chapter. So then if you follow it from that way, it does make sense how when Cain slew Abel and Cain was outcast into the land of Judea. So in order for him to be outcast into another land, there had to be people there. And because we know the chapter before, people were made, that made it possible for him to continue and grow out an entire generation in another land. But we're not taught that. We're just taught a very simpler version because oftentimes the people teaching us didn't read it either.
See,
Yeah,
I'm not going with y'all today. No,
I've heard that
no,
before. The
no.
first woman
Next
was
clip.
together.
No.
I hear that one too, but I'm not. I've tried to find that particular reference, and I did find a little bit of it, but it's so obscure that it feels like that's an angle being used just to.
And the funny thing about it is what I heard about it is, so that's why I kind of stopped. And I'm not saying right or wrong or anything. It was sort of like the first vampire. It was not Dracula or whatever. It was Lilith.
Oh, so now we're gonna create vamp. Who was the first werewolf? Who that?
Eddie Munster. Don't start me. Y'all gonna sit here and throw out stupid stuff. I can throw out stupid stuff too.
Okay. I think God killed all living things with the flood except Noah and his family. Who did the family screw to repopulate the earth?
That one, or why are the animals? I mean, do you account for land animals because that's who got on the ark? What about the sea animals?
They was already home.
Sea animals can't be on the boat.
No, but they were already in the water. That's where they live.
But a flood is fresh water, so salt water wouldn't be able to function that way. Or if it ended up increasing the ocean so that the oceans became the predominant, then the fresh water would die. So all of that happens, and then you got all the animal waste that is accumulated during this period of time that you're sitting on the ship, and so there's so many things. But that's why I don't like literal interpretations of the Bible. I like for people to look at the spirit of what is being expressed.
I'll be honest
And
with
then
you.
you
I just hate the Old Testament. That's why I have no problem whatsoever what I'm doing right now, picking on the Old Testament, because some of the stuff in there was just like, what?
Yeah, one of my first tests that I ask people when we're trying to have this particular conversation in real life is the Bible literal?
Is the Bible what?
Literal.
Because there are people who are literalists and they say that it's an inerrant.
That's without blemish,
yeah. So my problem there, now you're going to try to convince me of the things that we all know are completely fantastical. And I'm not saying that God is not capable of those fantastical things. No, I am saying it didn't happen, but I'm not saying he's not capable. But then I would have to ask you, well, why did he stop doing these things? He or whatever gender you want to assign to the creator of all, stop doing any of these things after Jesus. Because he's forever.
Yeah.
God is. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is where me and Christians come together. God is. Right? Where we differ is how I then go in to define it. But given that, we got a problem here because now you're trying to contain my God to a 2,000 year window. maybe 5,000 if you want to reach.
Yeah, if you gonna
back into
spend
Noah.
maybe 5, maybe
right?
6.
But you're skipping everything from the death of Jesus forward when we're supposed to be in grace, and you're saying that he's just not bothered with us no more. Doesn't add up.
I'm a big Peter. I'm a big Peter. I don't get what a Peter is.
And by the way, Tracy, do you want her to explain what PETA is? Because I don't know what it is either, but
Yeah.
this is Mickey.
But it's Mickey, so I'm
you,
gonna say go ahead and explain it, because that's gonna just knock me off. Like, what does she mean when she said a
Okay, you
Peter?
asked for it.
I know.
hey, there we go.
Oh, okay.
That was much tamer than I thought, Mickey.
Yeah, that was way tamer. I thought, oh wait, man, she's green coming with it.
Yeah, but we're supposed to ignore all of the editing, all of the changes. We're actually supposed to latch on to the King James version as the most accurate depiction, even though, but that's the standard text, right? King James is like the standard text. And then we have all these interpretations that even come downstream from there. But I'm like, the King James version literally was edited and we know it. So that's why I believe that where me and people of faith really do come together is if you're focused on the spirit and the message, hey, we can rock. But when you start trying to tell me that some people were turned into salt and that a man was swallowed by a fish and that you threw some people in a furnace and they came on out and there's a flood and with all the animals. So all the animals, are we saying that Pangea was real at the time of Noah? Because I need to know that.
Pangea.
Pangea is when all the continents were connected.
Yeah, right. I know what it is, but I'm just.
Oh, okay. So I'm saying the only way you could conceivably say that. Now you can't even conceivably say that, because you imagine the amount of time it would take for a snake on the other side to make it all the way to the ark. Okay?
I thought they scientifically did prove that all the continents were connected at one time.
No, they were. But the people who are most locked into literal translations defy or deny the Pangea explanation, because
they also denied that the Earth is round.
They denied dinosaurs and all these other things.
Yeah, I'm like,
even though there's that one guy, and I'm sorry, Marlon, so you can get to your thing, but there's that one guy. Where is it? He has the Noah's Ark Museum, the Christian museum, and it has dinosaurs in it. I might go just to go.
We're done.
Can we just move on, please?
I can't answer that one, and no, I do I want even. Oh my good.
Y'all started it. I was trying to move on because I'm like, I ain't going with y'all today.
Let me find that.
What is it called again? Because I actually want to look this up.
Noah's Ark. It's an actual, somebody actually built like the Noah's Ark. I think it's in, I want to say Kentucky so bad.
They have been now, scientific wise, they have been finding wood fragments.
It's called the Creation Museum.
Yeah, that's it.
And it's got dinosaurs.
What city is it in, though? What city and state?
Let's see.
Petersburg, Kentucky.
Yeah, I knew it was in Kentucky. I'm like, it's got to be somewhere in Kentucky. I'm just saying, could we please move on? Because y'all not today. No.
I can't take that.
Yeah, move on. But we got. Hey, that would be a great us coming together trip. We got all go to Kentucky.
That would make a phenomenal group.
No,
trip.
It wouldn't, because I wouldn't come. No, I'm not going with y'all this today. Nope.
All right, let's get through these things, and we got to move on because we got about less than 30 minutes. It's all metaphors, poetry, truth, and transcendent facts. Yep.
That I agree with.
But that's science, and they don't believe in science.
There you go.
Yeah,
some of them don't. Some of us got some sense.
I had a couple of hundred more questions. No. Not where the art landed, wasn't it?
We don't know because they never found the ship.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't finish the story. They are finding And unfortunately, they're finding it in the same area. So now they're really doubling down on it. They're finding wood that they're saying is old enough and structured enough, shaped, I should say, shaped and structured enough that they believe that they're finding bits and pieces of the ark.
Yeah, sure. Because the Bible actually gives you a very pretty accurate rendering
Like,
of how big the thing
yeah,
was.
like it
So,
was really big, like a
Oh,
cruise
that's
but
what.
ship.
But that's where science come. Oh, we're not.
but you know that's what I'm saying. So let's say it was the size of one of our massive cruise
It
ships.
had
We
to
got
be.
massive
Yeah,
cruise
army
ships.
liners, well, like army stuff
You still
or
can't
navy
get two.
stuff.
You still couldn't get two of every animal on that boat.
I just want to have one question. Why did y'all have to double down on flies and mosquitoes and things like that?
Roaches.
Y'all
I'm like,
literally could have just
really?
left them
But
out there.
roaches be appearing everywhere. I'm like, come.
They're like the most durable creature like
Yep.
in creation.
Yeah, I looked at an
And
episode of
don't grow a
Mythbusters
garden
and they
like you're
put
gonna just
that
grow
correctly.
some. You're gonna grow some fruits or vegetables like inside. You get the cleanest soil. Here come a
You can imagine
roach.
the size of the art would have been so. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just.
No, it's impossible, brother.
I wouldn't. You know what? I'd say this. I don't think it's impossible. The only
I
thing that I
don't
would
either,
think that
but
it was
hey, that's just me.
impossible is the time frame that they say that they did it.
He had to
I
do it
can't
by
flow
him.
with
Wait,
that.
no. He only had wood. He had to do it by himself with his sons. That means you got maybe 5 people working on something that massive in that amount of time. No.
Dandelions?
Well, yeah, maybe dandelions.
Yeah,
You try
because
to get dandelions out your yard.
they won't go nowhere. You pluck it out. Here come another one. Pluck
You
it
can
out.
dig
Here
them
come
up
another
and they
one.
still coming back. It's
All right, let's move
They
on.
like baby kids.
Lord, did she go back?
I love that movie. That was actually a fun movie.
That was the dumbest movie, one of the dumbest movies I ever seen.
Yes, it was.
Nope,
But it
I
was
still
fun.
say Zoolander.
Hey.
The smart girl is back, and this pretty much proves that there's still people who believe it's easier to work smarter than harder.
If you can knock this coin down, right, without banging on the table, blowing on anything, or using any balloons, then I'll give you $20, right? So go ahead. Remember, like I said, you cannot bang on the table, and you can't try to, like, blow or use anything to, like, blow air toward. Oh, you thought static electricity was gonna work, huh? You know why I set this up on purpose, right? Because a coin and a Sharpie cap, they have the same amount of protons, neutrons, and electrons in the chemistry, in the biology, in the astrology, make them perfect fit. So like it's not, static electricity is unaffected. It doesn't work like that. You know, like in Pokemon, like a rock Pokemon, if you use static electricity,
That's actually the wrong video, but
I love
it
that little
was
girl.
still good. I love that little girl.
Yeah, and I love him too, because what they're doing, I said it the other day. It's awesome, and I'm glad she came back and took that quarter too.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep, that's what I was gonna say. I am suspicious, but
Well, he might be because they're trying to teach people things.
He might be a science teacher.
Because the lady who did the remember the science show I told you about the other day?
Mhm.
She was a black lady from I don't remember where, but she's a chemist.
I like the way he just says astrology, biology. I'm like, man, are you
Yeah,
gonna
he
come
threw
with
astrology in there.
sociologies? I'm like, you gonna just
You
throw
got
them
some
all in there?
zoology for me, brother? You got some zoology?
Zoology, astronomical. Yeah. All right. The next
This was-
video
I liked it.
is the fight that had to happen. Tracy's sorry. There's a whole lot of cuss words in it, but unfortunately, it was the fight that had to happen.
Oh Lord, not you again. This bitch got some regular food. None of it's good. Sorry, I didn't catch any of that. I was busy choking on one of your dry ass biscuits. How much Polynesian sauce does it take to cover up the fact that y'all chicken ain't got no flavor? Ooh, I got a better question. How many times have your employees been on World Star today? Y'all are ghetto. So, bitch, at least we not homophobic. Okay, first of all, bitch, ain't nobody even homophobic. We just don't be hiring gay or trans people here. That's it. Bitch, that's homophobia. Oh, for real? Oh, okay. You just mad because we out here cooking for the Lord. Hey, guys. Why do you even exist? Exactly, special sauce looking ass bitch. Coleslaw when nobody asked for it ass bitch. Only got chicken fingers ass bitch. Get a nugget, it's not even that hard. Take one of your chicken fingers and cut it in quarters, bitch. Fuck both of you fake ass bitches. Roaches and salmonella ass bitches. Fuck y'all.
I've heard of Cane's, so that must be a northern thing because we don't have
I thought it was in the South.
We have Zaxby's.
Yeah,
No,
we
we have
have
Zaxby's.
Zaxby's. We don't have a cane.
Yeah.
I know it's in California because there's a guy that does. I look at some of his when he makes restaurant food, and he always say, "I could take this, but make it better." That's his thing. And one of the places was Cane's. So I know it's in California because that's where he's at. Yeah, I do
don't
have
like
a problem
Chick-fil-A
with the
food
only
either.
thing you have is chicken strips.
But
I'm not a big fan of Chick-fil-A food because
I'm
it
gonna
doesn't.
get canceled today.
Man.
But
I don't eat chicken.
no, I do eat chicken. I've been guilty of eating Chick-fil-A.
Well, I don't think that's a matter of an issue. I mean, look.
Bad thing.
Uh,
I just think Chick-fil-A is overrated.
It's overpriced. That much I can tell you. I'm like $8 for a chicken sandwich. Nah, wait a minute.
And it's smaller than most everybody else's. But the thing is, like Chick-fil-A. I mean, it's like, okay, if you're looking for somebody to be perfect, I'm not your guy. Okay, so like I tell people, look, I might be your ally, but I'm never gonna be your perfect ally. I'm never gonna line up on all of your points. Okay, I'm not. Like I rock with you on how much everybody hates R. Kelly because he's a monster. Okay, but I still like the Chocolate Factory and the Happy People album. Sorry, I'm not perfect. I go hard for my LGBTQ community, even though sometimes they don't go as hard for us because I see how a lot of times our people within their community get treated. But that's a different conversation. So I'm never going to be perfect there. So if I'm desperate and I need some good food that's not going to be terrible, I'm going to eat at Chick-fil-A.
How much money do you got to be working with? Because Chick-fil-A is not cheap. It is not cheap.
It doesn't matter where I eat out. Anywhere I eat out is going to cost me $10 anyway. So
you spending 10.
That's an Atlanta thing?
I eat. Okay.
You must eat out a lot because that's a lot.
I eat out way too often. But one of my issues, and I've had this since I was fresh out of college. But actually, no, I developed this habit in high school. I eat what I want to eat. I'll adjust everything else in my life to satisfy my food budget. So, yeah.
Susan, I'm with you. I know what A&W is.
Oh boy,
they used to have them here and they closed them all down.
Oh, we got them. They're like hybrids with like Long John Silver or something.
Who eats there? Who sits there and thinks, you know what? I want some fish. Let me go to Long John, put too much salt in the dang old thing.
I go to Long John Silver's where
on purpose.
Every once in a while, you just want something. So like
that's
today,
nasty, salty.
Today I just wanted Chinese food. I haven't had Chinese food in probably a decade.
Salted walrus.
So I went and got some authentic, sketchy Chinese food, and I ate it, and it was good. Same thing for Long John Silver. Sometimes I'll stop on the way to my parents' house, and I'll get me some fish-flavored fish and some fish-flavored chicken and some fish-flavored fries.
Is fish-flavored fish?
Fish-flavored fish. It should taste like fish. It is fish.
Because
what are you talking
about? Fish.
I
Yeah.
think it's fish, but
He
the point
thinks
is
Oh boy.
everything in Long John Silver's tastes the same.
because they fried in that nasty pancake batter.
So
What's the other fish place?
Captain D's, don't nobody eat that.
Captain D's, but that's definitely in the South.
How are they still in business? I don't know.
No, that's Arby's. I'm still like,
Oh, Arby's,
I
man.
can't understand Arby's.
I'm just like, but what do y'all serve?
Yo, Arby's. I used to work for Arby's when I was in the 11th grade, and
I'm gonna tell you, what is this, your eighth job? Because you've had a lot of them.
oh, I've had a lot of jobs, but at that time they owned Mrs. Winter's Chicken.
Now that was some good chicken.
Del Taco and Arby's. But Arby's owns a lot of stuff. Like,
Yeah, apparently I'm like, who's eating at this restaurant for them to have all this?
I think they make their money off of other projects.
They must, because I'm like, what did they serve? Their roast beef is dry. I'm like, there's nothing good on their menu. 1 minute, except
I don't know the curly fries now.
except for their chicken sandwich.
But
The
that's
chicken
but
Chicken sandwich
you know
is
what you
good.
just said is their side dishes are fantastic. Curly
Yeah.
fries,
The hash brown potato
the
wedge.
cheese sticks, the hash brown potato. Their size is phenomenal.
They main dishes are like, ugh.
But see,
their
here's the
main
thing.
dishes
Okay,
is
now
boring.
maybe it's changed in the 30 years since I was there, ish something. But
the potato fries are gone.
Yep.
the hash brown thingy,
Yeah, they
They're
don't
gone?
serve those no more.
oh, those were so good.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, the Jamocha shake was always a
serve-
big seller.
Yep, they still serve that.
The
Diabetes in a cup. Yes.
the au jus sub thing that people used to love to get. I didn't like it. I always made a Philly out of mine and got some A1 sauce. But anyway, but the thing is, the roast beef. Oh my goodness,
Dry.
it's
Dry.
well. It
Dry.
depends on who's making. No, it depends on who's making it and how they prepared it and all those things. But the problem with the roast beef, man, is if you've ever seen it raw, oh my god, It's-
But in terms of who has the best chicken, I mean, everybody knows it's churches. I mean,
no.
like, why we sitting
No.
here wasting our time conversating about this?
I'm not trying to eat no yard bird from churches.
That's
Oh,
the best type of bird. What you
struggle
talking
bird.
about?
Oh, struggle bird. Hyped up on steroids.
Church's chicken.
Yes.
You
Full
might
of
as well
grease.
suck grease through a straw.
You got to
No.
roll the chicken
And
out
those
eat it.
biscuits, oh, with the honey on top of them. Oh boy.
Because biscuit is the best breakfast.
I'm not a big fan of Thai food, but I'll eat it. But yeah, we
Oh,
got
I don't-
I'm sorry, Susan. They can go F themselves. I'm not gonna pay you to tell me how I can eat their food.
Yeah, I'm paying for
That
it,
just sounds
bub.
ridiculous.
They tell me I can't. I've never had that happen. They've always given me a fork.
No, it
But-
never happened to me. I'm just
Tell me I can't have a fork. Okay, I'm gonna let you actually bring the food to the table, and I'm gonna say I don't want it and walk away.
Yep, I ain't gonna pay for it. How
Y'all
about
throw all
that?
this away.
thank you, Mickey.
Honey will suffice.
Mayo
Nothing.
make everything better.
Nothing but potato salad needs mayo. And double.
I have to agree with you on that.
Okay, tuna salad.
Yeah,
don't
tuna
eat it.
salad.
I don't eat that.
I do eat tuna salad,
You
like
eat
when I
tuna?
just don't feel like if I want something light for lunch. Yeah, but not for dinner. That's stupid.
I hate to sound like this, but I'm too bougie for some damn tuna. I'm sorry. I'm not eating no tuna fish. I'm not eating no chicken salad sandwich. I'm not gonna eat. Don't you dare. It's on site. You bring me some macaroni salad. Like
Oh, I
That's
love
a side
macaroni
dish.
too.
our relationship is over. You bring that to me.
You know what, dude? Just be single. You
Well,
got
whatever
too
that-
many daggone
that
rules,
gum-
man.
Whatever that glue
I'm
is.
like, what one
I'm
food
not
can his
gay,
wife cook for
I'm
and
not
he's
gay,
happy?
and I don't even date you, and I'm sick of you. You got too much crap.
Yeah, I'm like, let me pull out this long
I'm not
Excel
even talking about
spreadsheet.
girlfriends. I'm talking about as
All
my
I'm saying
friend. You
is,
come
I
to
just
my
got a
house
couple of
with
things
your
that we need
dish.
to discuss before we date.
Boom.
So,
informational seminar on the timeshare
2 or 3 day
presentation.
workshop. Buy your hotels now.
No, it's not a 2-3 day workshop. It's more like a 2-3 date workshop.
Years ago, only got there twice. I love a hibachi, by the way, because
I don't. That
That's
annoys me.
overrated to me.
I'm like, okay, you cook your food in front of me. That's what my mother did. Shut up.
And there's not a lot of flavor
it's
to
the
it.
show about it too. And
They
by
just
the way,
do too much.
I looked at some of those in Japan that honestly they don't do the show part. They just cook the food in front of you. Steak is the only thing I would eat that they cook. They put some stuff on that grill that's just like, dude, I have no idea what that is. So
It's a
nor am I
cultural
going to eat
thing, brother. You just got to go. If you're going to go to somebody else's place, man, and they hand you, you know what I'm saying, some fried, rat sticks, you got to eat it.
Or I don't go to that place. See how
I hate that stereotype, though. I don't like that stereotype. You always see no rats around the Chinese shop. You never see rats around McDonald's. You never see rats around Wendy's.
Pay attention when you drive through the drive-through. There's always a rat trap right there at the building.
I have never seen one.
Just take a look. It's right there.
I worked at a Red Lobster and I know we had a rat.
Yeah, rat trap.
I have never seen
You have food and trash. You will have. They coming.
Yes, but why do people make it specific for the Chinese restaurants?
Because people
That's
are ignorant and
wrong.
hateful.
I'll try
That's so.
anything.
Like,
I will be 50
Yeah.
in 2 weeks. That list is done.
I mean,
And
I've had
haven't tried it right
escargot.
now.
I
I'm not
thought that
trying
was
it.
good.
I'll try almost anything if I'm in like another land. Like if I'm overseas, I will try almost anything. But domestically, no, I got the things that I eat. That's what I eat. And if I'm in a foreign land and you bring me something that's mayonnaise based, and I'm not eating that. I'm not.
Well, they don't use mayonnaise
Good,
like
because
that.
I ain't eating it. That's why I don't like most European food when I lived in Europe. Except for some of the German sausages. Oh, those were so good. Like bratwurst and kielbasa and those were so good.
My dream trip is to go to eat foods in the States. So I'll start at the United States first.
Oh, you want to travel across America?
And eat the foods that state is known for. Like
You know what
You
buffalo
have diabetes
wings.
before you hit California.
Yeah, because that's what Guy Fieri does.
Because the whole Midwest is fried and cheese. That's
No, okay, like buffalo wings in Buffalo, New York. A Coney Island hot dog. I'm not trying a Chicago style pizza because
I would.
Ooh, that's so good.
not. But a New York style pizza, I want to try. My wife tried
Overrated.
it in
Just a
New York.
flat
She said
pizza.
it was phenomenal.
That super thick crust. Oh,
Let's
it's so
just be
good.
real, Marlon. If you're talking about different food across the country, and I know I'm gonna sound biased, but you're pretty much having to do like a U, right? Because you're gonna hit New York, Jersey, Philly. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing really in Connecticut, none of them places. And then you hit down
Maple
towards-
syrup. Well, unless
Then
you
you
got
start
pancakes.
hitting North Carolina and South Carolina for their barbecue and some of their coastal food. And then you start sliding across the South because the whole Midwest, can you think of anything in the Midwest that screams food?
Yes.
How far is Louisiana?
I mean, other than Illinois, because Illinois has the deep dish pizza and some people like their hot dogs, which I think is just
I tried their
Rocky Mountain.
variety
No,
version.
not happening. I'm not eating bull balls. It's not happening.
That's what they are? I'm sitting there thinking they oysters. I'm like, oh,
No.
you get them out the sea. And what water do they come from? Okay, never mind.
There's some fluid around there, but no.
Nothing could beat a New York City pizza.
I forgot
Chicago
about
pizza.
cheesecake. Yeah,
The
Chicago
only
deep dish
issue
beats
that I'm
New
going
York
to
pizza. all-
have, sorry, the only
Cheesecake is
issue that I'm going to have with New York pizza is that's it. Is either pizza, cheese
Knishes.
pizza or pepperoni.
I don't know what a knish is.
But the
New
what I
York has
grew up
all
on
the
with
food.
sausage and the meat lovers pizza, that's not New York.
I've never been to New York, but New York has everything. It literally because it has
Yeah,
every
like why
culture
you gonna travel?
right
Just
there.
go across to New York. It's a German. The Midwest is German, Irish, Scandinavian.
I can't think of none of the food in the U.S. that makes me think I want to go there to eat. Like I said, when I was in Germany, I had some great food.
Unfortunately, you do have Texas and their barbecue.
You're riding around the South. You coming around that bottom border, brother.
Yeah, because what is California known
okay,
for?
we're doing the U. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you could once you get past Texas. What's California known for?
Unless you're back into like seafoods and
calamari, squid.
And I don't eat shellfish, so I have nothing in California.
I eat up some shellfish, bro. I'll eat a sea roach in a minute. Let's go. Give me some shrimp. Let's go.
That poop line is just disheartening.
You take that out. You don't eat that.
I know, but I gotta look at it. Ooh.
No, you don't. If it's prepared right, you cut that out.
Food?
But I cook it myself.
You're not supposed to cook it with it in there. You're not supposed to cook it. You're supposed to cut that out before you even cook it.
Yeah, I know that, but I still got to take it. It's just disheartening. That's all I said.
Can you prepare a chicken?
Okay, which city, state, whatever, Italian food? Are we still back in New York?
You're going to be right back in the Northeast again.
Yeah, you're going to be in Maine, New York, all those upper states.
Boston, like Massachusetts. Yeah. But but when it comes to Cajun food,
that's what we eat.
That's New Orleans.
Now you back down towards South Carolina and New Orleans.
I don't see South Carolina as Cajun food town.
I thought they had like the Geechee kind of culture. They have the Geechee culture they're very similar cultures. I don't know how it is, but they're split by two states. But
New York. Oh boy, it's time to go to bed. South Carolina is still known for their barbecue and I know that for the fact that we're still competing against them in North Carolina.
But it's Kansas City that has
North Carolina
the best
barbecue. I don't really like too much, but I know.
I don't like South Carolina. I don't like. Was it Lankiston style or however with the
mustard-based barbecue
stuff? I don't do that. That's disgusting to me.
I don't like mustard barbecue, and I don't like vinegar barbecue. I can deal with some, but
Maine is lobster. That's what it is. Thank you, Mickey. I was like,
yeah.
Maine is what? Maine is something. Yeah, Maine is lobster, which I love.
French style, I could care less because I don't.
Oh, French style. Now you talking about some food. Oh,
I don't know about French because
escargot. Oh, that's.
I could eat escargot and calamari and
calamari's not French.
It's not. I thought it was.
Call me stuck up. I like my food cooked. But y'all,
escargot is cooked.
Escargot is cooked. Oysters, don't even think about bringing me no oysters.
Oh, I'll eat oysters in a minute.
Slimy.
You would do escargot, but you won't do oysters?
No, I'll do escargot
I eat cooked.
But you can cook oysters.
Yeah, if you fry them, I'll eat it, but that ain't the same way that people think.
You mean to say you don't put some broth on there? Oh, you could boil them and put some broth on there. Oh, it'd be so good. All right. Y'all don't know what good
calamari is Italian for squid. Yeah, we got that. It's just,
that's good. Squid is delicious and it's tender.
I'm good. All right, last video, and then we're gonna get up out of here. Get ready for another day. A real mother, all the way to the end.
Adrian, 3 days in a row I'll tell you take the trash out. And I don't care that your friends here. I brought you into this world and I'll take you out. Take it out before I take you out.
AJ, that's a death threat.
Yep.
My aunt works for CPS. I can have her come up here.
With all due respect, my mom will beat your aunt's ass.
Oh.
And then mine.
And then yours.
Oh.
So I'm gonna just take out the trash.
Yeah.
And don't let your friend get you hurt.
Where did they find that clip of my mother at, though? That's what I want to know.
Because all they had to do was channel just about any black mother. In fact, you don't have to blame most parents, period. Because I know I spaz on my kids. I'm like, how many times I got to tell you the same thing? Same thing.
You know the ones, I honestly think the ones that's the sweet, innocent, let your child get away with pretty much anything. I think that's a rarity. I think these are the ones that's like, I will knock you into next week. Mom's still out there of all races.
You have that across but I think that you don't have to threaten physical harm to your children.
But she just said, I brought you in this world, I'll take you out. If that's
I mean, we've all probably, most of us have probably heard some version of it, but just like I grew up getting spankings, but I don't spank my children. You know, there's other ways to
I
discipline.
don't know no other way.
Oh, well, I do because I'm not. I know where it comes from, so my particular take on it is why I wouldn't do it. Plus, I'm also raising girls, so I don't ever want to even create the semblance of an idea that
Oh,
a
yeah.
man can correct a female by putting his hands on her. So I don't even want that even in your brain, in the back, buried nowhere. No. So that's part of my reason. Plus, I used to get spankings, and my adjustment to it was like, all right, so let me check this out. All right, so I can do what I want, and then I'm gonna get a whooping, and then it's done.
Yep, it's done and
I ain't
finished.
bet. I'll take the whooping because that's gonna pass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Whereas if you took something away from me, I'd be like, oh man, I gotta live with this without a whole week. What?
Or make me have to do it. Like I remember the worst punishment I got. It did follow a whooping, but the whooping is like whatever. What actually hurt me was my dad whooped my behind and then left me in my room with all my toys and said, "You better not play with nothing." I still remember that. So it's like there's different ways to go at it, depending upon the personality of your child. This is just my philosophy and my thoughts. Like I have 3 girls, 2 of them were pretty easy. This last one, she try it. So her is I got to shift after shift. You know, lectures and all that stuff ain't really working for her. So it's gonna be push-ups, wall squats, yard work. I mean, I'm gonna make it so every time you do something, instead of me just yelling at you or wasting my energy, I'm gonna waste your energy. You know what I'm saying? And I think that hits harder than me taking my anger out on you by whooping you
And then when you
and hitting you
call
with something.
your friends and say, I just had to get into that, what are you really accomplishing? What are you really accomplishing? I'm gonna have to agree with Mickey. It's the line is too thin. It's not a line I'm comfortable with. I'm not comfortable with.
And it doesn't really it
I
it
literally
doesn't
have
correct
to I
behavior.
literally have to disagree with that. I really do.
I don't see what
I
they
grew up on
accomplished.
spanking, and I spanked my children, and I knew where the line was, and a parent knows where the line is. What we say is something that we would never do in a million years, and we say a lot.
Oh no, I'm literally talking from what
Now,
I
I
do.
will say this: switches, and
Extension cords and
extension.
flip flop.
Okay, that's
And
overstepping.
I don't want to go to, and it has its roots in slavery. Cause see, I didn't do that. I didn't
I
bring up
did.
that.
I'll call it out. That's where
I'm
we
not
got it
doing
from.
that. No.
Yeah, that's exactly where we got it from.
I don't like your behavior, so I'm going to hurt you so that you know that you don't want to be hurt anymore, so that
So you don't
you
do that,
don't repeat that
or you
behavior.
become a better liar. You
I
come
am.
become a
And
better
there is
liar.
no way that I'm going to combine the efforts of whipping you on your back to the point of changing your personality, your name, your beliefs, and everything about you, so you can obey me. Compared to you did something wrong, I'm gonna beat you on your butt and send you on your way, so you never do it again.
I
But
mean, that's
don't
cool.
think.
I'm drawing a different distinction.
Yeah, I think we're
And
me
my
and
father was
dancing.
very good with his whoopings. Like my dad had pinpoint accuracy.
Yeah, my
It,
mom was great at it.
that's what it hit. My butt. Wasn't none of that hitting you in your lower back, hitting you in your
Yeah,
legs.
no,
Ain't none of
no,
that happened. It
no,
hits your butt.
no. My mom became. I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my worst 3 punishments. Number three was um Number 3 was no whooping at all. However, I was put on punishment. No TV, no going outside, the whole kid caboodle, no phone, everything else. From report card to report card. So 3 months.
I agree with that.
Yeah, that's
For an
what you.
extreme case, yeah, I agree with that.
Number 2 was there was a whooping. And my mom was whooping me, and I thought I was grown, so I stood there, and I'm a man, and I'm going to take it and everything else. And I'll never forget my mom looked at me and go, "Oh, so you're not going to do nothing." So she goes in the closet, gets a second belt, wraps it around the first belt, and all I'm thinking is, okay, this is not fair. This is not thinking to myself. There's a rule or regulation or a bylaw to this or something. This ain't fair. This ain't right. Wait a minute. Paragraph 3, section 2 that says you can't do
The
this.
Geneva Convention.
Yo, hey, yo. The third worst punishment I got. My grandmother whooped me one time, and I knew she was going to whoop me. I was prepared for her to whoop me. And my grandma got the belt and went, and I just sat there with, I'm like, this is not. I was like, I'm not.
Yeah, I think on this one we're gonna have to just agree to disagree.
I'm not pissing my grandma off no more because she really don't want to do this. And I can see it in me. And it did dawn 5 minutes later. You want some cookies?
But what you just shared with us, though, is it wasn't the whoopings that actually got to you.
Yep, Mickey, that's why I agree with you. Yep, and you do it.
Now that I agree with.
Nobody counts to 10. I'm gonna go back and beat them.
Well, no, that's not quite true.
That's not true.
Because I remember having to wait for my whooping.
No,
not my parents. They just boom.
My mother mastered. There was never a see me is a whooping situation. No. My mom, when we stayed together in the hood, my mom's bedroom, if you could picture, her bedroom door was literally right beside my bedroom door. Her bedroom door was across from the bathroom. I know I'm getting a whooping. The point is, you don't know when I'm getting a whooping. So all I hear is my mom opening her bedroom door and walking to the bathroom. Opening the bathroom door. Okay, this is it. No, she's going downstairs. Okay, now I hear her coming upstairs. She comes upstairs. She goes into the bedroom again. See, now at this point, I'm going, you know what? Let's go. Let's go.
But see, once again, it still comes back to it's not, for me anyway, the worst punishments were never the actual whooping. I still remember that there was the rules, and it might have just been my house, I don't know, but there was a difference between being grounded and being on restriction. So if you were grounded, you got your whooping. My dad was the only one who whooped. So you got your whooping, and then you were grounded. Grounded just meant you couldn't go outside, you couldn't go play with your friends, right? Because back then you went outside to play. That was grounded. Restriction was like what you were laying out, Marlon. You ain't going nowhere. You ain't talking to nobody. You ain't playing with nothing.
No
you
video game.
On TV. Yeah, you better find a book because that's your life for the next week. So
I would like I said, this one I'm just gonna have to disagree with you, Marlon. And that's okay.
And that's what I'm saying. Different parents have their different flows.
And I'm not a parent, so what the heck I know.
No, don't ever discount yourself that way.
Different parents have different ways of disciplining their child. Whatever works. I'm not going to sit there and try to say left and right and up and down and everything else, because now we're getting into the concept of, oh, I'm not doing that to my child, so I'm going to try to find a way to stop you from doing it to your child. And I'm not doing that. You do what's best for your household, because I'm not paying any of your bills. Sure, I'm not raising any of your children.
Well, where the line breaks, though, is we do need to be involved with other people's parenting when it crosses the line into abuse.
When it crosses
the
line.
So there has to be, but abuse takes different forms and
sure does.
Has different extremes.
There's parents that...
that's where it gets real tricky.
Yeah, I've heard... Right.
So
I've heard parents verbally, curse at their children, which I'm like, that's so inappropriate. I'm like, that's just like, you're just
Okay,
garbage in
then
my
what do you say about the children that be cussing at their parents in public?
They have a different level of
They
responsibility.
have a different. Okay, so first of all, that child didn't just learn those words out the blue. Let's just be honest, they did. I'm talking about the parent, the one that bears the responsibility of raising the child. We can talk about them bad kids some other time, but I'm talking about the parents.
And I'd even go one more further and say, if your child is cursing at you in public, you messed up.
Yeah, you did something wrong. You did something
before this. There's some pent up something happening.
Yeah, there's something that's happened in the background that we don't know about.
I've seen with certain family members, you allow things to be cute when they weren't cute.
Yeah, that's a whole different.
Like when they let the kid just be wild and rude and all that, all the way until he's like 6, 7, 8 years old, and now all of a sudden you want to try to be like, no, you.
Yeah, that's like the parent that puts their 8-year-old in diapers. You gonna be for real about that?
Well, I don't know nothing about that. Well, why would you have an 8-year-old in diapers?
I have seen 8-year-old children and their parents will put them in strollers and diapers.
How do you even find diapers big enough for?
I don't know where they find.
You got adult diapers, but I'm just saying, is this a punishment or is a child?
I don't know what it is. I'm just telling you what I see. And I've seen a lot of older children. I'm like, shouldn't they be out of diapers by now?
Now, I will tell you one thing. The parents that's going to be picking that child up no matter how old they are. I done told about every last kid. Once you don't learn how to walk, we're going to do some walking, baby. Because you getting bigger, I'm getting older. I ain't carrying you every freaking where. We're going to walk together. And I can tell when you tired and you don't want to walk no more and everything else. I can also tell when you just don't feel like walking. I don't feel like carrying you. Since I'm bigger, we're going to walk together, okay?
Yeah, I don't remember at what different age. But I've also been called out because I don't treat my children according to their age. I never have. None of the kids. None of them.
No, I treat them for their abilities. Like I said, once you learn how to walk, I'm going to let you walk.
No, I'm not talking about that, but I'm just saying, like, I can't remember when it would have been. Because, like, for example, for me, I stopped carrying them before my wife was willing to stop taking a stroller everywhere. Right? But at the same token, I'm not traveling with the kids as often as she was. So there's a different experience there, too, you know? Because when you got to carry bags and you got 2 kids and you might be
10-year-olds that suck their thumb. Are you serious, parent?
No, we ain't sucking no thumb. We take pacifiers early. We don't do none of that. But usually, if a kid's sucking their
Father's father said to him once.
Ooh, Susan, you might have to explain that one because I got confusion written all on my face.
And Thea's is gone.
Freeze them froze again.
Well, this is a good time to end the show because why do Thea's end with like the funniest?
It was this the other day. Now it's this. Like,
anyway, so since he ain't on here, I can't play what I want to play. So, yep, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, non-conforming individuals, that is our show for tonight. I appreciate everybody that come in. Please do me a solid by hitting that like button on the way out the door. I really would appreciate it. If you are new to this show and you did enjoy everything that's happening, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We do a show every Saturday and Sunday at 9 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectfully. Tracy, tell everybody where they can find you.
TracyMediaLLC.com.
And we will be back next Saturday at 9 p.m. So until then, we will see you when we see you. Peace.